All right, this is part three of Gender Wars, a spiritual battle against Satan. And I'm going to talk about this, I'll get a little bit deeper and talk about this snare that we're falling in with giving up our life energy, our sexual energy. So, this spiritual demon, Satan, that's on these women, he has an intention with this spiritual energy. And that's just to squander it, to get us to take our precious male energy and waste it away. That's the trap. That's the snare right there. Because our spiritual energy, our slakia, our life energy, our sexual energy it's something that's very potent. It's something that we use to strengthen ourselves. Literally the sperm itself is full of life. Now, a lot of people think, oh, the woman brings life into the world. No, that egg that's in the woman is just a collection of cells. The life comes from the man. The life is in us. It's in our loins. It's in our sperm. That's physical, but it's also spiritual. And we can use this energy, not the sperm itself, but through not squandering it and being fornicators, sleeping around, and not being very very particular on how we use this energy, because this energy isn't just for making babies. This isn't just for having sex. This isn't just for pleasure. This energy we use in almost everything. And the more we preserve it, the more focus we have, the more fortitude we have, the more energy, the more masculine strength we preserve within us when we don't squander it. And Satan does not want masculine men walking around. That's why he set up all these traps to get us to spend it on him. He uses it in us squandering our masculine energy, our life energy, our sexual energy. Satan actually causes great chaos. He uses this energy, he squanders this energy to create chaos in the home, to create chaos between men and women, uh, to get us to commit adultery, to sin, to fornicate, to even destroy our children through abortion. That's when we put our life into the womb of a woman. I mean, when you really think about that grows into another human. That sexual act grows into another human. That's a lot of energy that we have within us. I mean, if you look at it correctly, it's infinite energy. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but and this is what Satan's against. He wants us to squander all that energy, and he's set snares everywhere to get us to do that. We got the spirit of Satan on these women, dressing promiscuous, wanting us to lust after them, wanting us to spill our seed into them for no purpose, so they can either abort the child or take that child and use it against us as a weapon. That's the spiritual demon Satan doing that to get us caught up in these thirst traps, to get us masturbating, spilling our seed when we masturbate. A lot of men report that once they masturbate, they feel that shame afterwards. It's because we've squandered something that's powerful. It's precious. We shouldn't be giving it up like that. We shouldn't be using it like that. Pornography. That's a huge snare for men. And a lot of men think this is pornography is normal and okay, and masturbating is normal and okay. That's exactly what Satan wants you to think. So he can get you to squander that masculine energy and decrease your spirit. Essentially, is what happens. We decrease our spiritual energy, our spiritual strength, and fortitude when we give up that seed. There's a lot of nutrition in our sperm, a lot of minerals that actually gets reabsorbed into the body when we don't squander it. And that's the physical, not even getting into the spiritual there. And a, there's a movement of men now who, well, they go no fap. Basically, they're saying they don't masturbate anymore. They don't, technically they're not spilling their seed. They're not watching porn, and they report a lot of benefits from this. Now, me myself, I don't masturbate. I don't watch porn. I don't, that's all heavily demonic stuff. And if I'm not laying with a woman, I've said this in another video. If I don't lay with a woman, nothing comes out of my rod ever. Even sometimes I'll have this that succubus spirit try to catch me in my dreams and try to get me to spill my seed in a wet dream. Even then, I'll wake up and I'll catch it and I'll hold it, not release it, because I know how precious it is, and I know the spiritual demon Satan wants me to squander it. And I do feel the difference from laying with a woman to masturbating. It's a completely different feeling. So I don't masturbate anymore, and I highly recommend that for anyone, any male. Don't spill your seed unless you're doing it with strong intention. Don't lay with every woman out there, because that's the spiritual demon Satan trying to get you to spend your spiritual currency. So the last part of this is just some advice on how we can use our energy righteously and efficiently, and to get out off of that battleground, or, if you will, be the victors in this gender war. And for men and for women, we're battling against Satan. We're not battling against women, us men. And how to be the victor is to just leave the game. Leave the game. Now, a lot of men are going to have problems with this. They want to be out there, of course, following that path, uh, talking to women, trying to, convince them that they're worthy. Because we've all been programmed to do this, since we were young. So I get that. But like I said before, it's not good for the men. It's not good for the women to do that. Going back to Salakia. Going back to James. Let's go back to that. Bring it on back home. It's James 4:1. Actually, we're going to jump down to... we'll go to 2. Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. So we're out there, in the field, gaming, trying to game women, rather than just asking the Lord to give us these things that we want. If this is even right for you. Now, a lot of us, we're not in the right place to have a woman, so we'll be asking amiss. Just like, I'm going to go on and read this. Ye ask and ye receive not, because ye ask amiss. You're not asking in the right spirit. You're asking to consume it upon your lust. And if you're asking for a woman for sexual pleasure, then you've got it wrong. We got to understand the value of a woman. Before the Lord's going to give you something, before anyone, this is how it should be, before anyone gives you anything, they need to understand that you value it. You understand its value. You know, if you look at a woman as just some place to, stick your dick because you're horny, you're not valuing the woman for what she is worth. Therefore, you're asking amiss. You're not going to get it. And you do get it. You're getting it from Satan. We got to understand that we're to elevate women, but not in the way Western society wants us to do it. It's not easy. This is hard work. This is in this time, this day and age. If you are gifted a woman, you're in for some work. You're not in for fun. It's not going to be a game. You're in for some work, because a lot of these women, they need a man to work with them. They need to be valued for something beyond sex. And because society is not teaching women how to be virtuous, what gifts they do have to give to a man, it's essentially our job to teach them. We got to start teaching or treating these women more like daughters rather than equals, because they're not our equals. It's, Scripture says they are the weaker vessel. Let me jump into a scripture here. Let's go to Sirach 26:10. Sirach 26:10, it says, "If thy daughters be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty." Now, of course, it's speaking about daughters here, but in this day and age, as a righteous man, if you are gifted a woman for the Lord, you have to heed this. You have to treat this woman as if she was your daughter, because society has taught her to be shameless, have no shame for the things she does, and to just be free. And we can see it. We all see it. Any MGTOW man out there listening to this, Red Pill men listening to this, you see that the woman who has too much liberty, too much freedom, is just abusing herself. So we got to pull them in straightly. We got to be that authority over them. We got to give them rules, give them boundaries. This is what I will not accept. These are some things I need you to do if you want to be in a relationship with me. And this isn't a thing of dominance. This is love. This is how you go about loving a woman in this day and age, is by being that authority over her, looking out for her, making sure she's not abusing herself, being strict with her, make sure she's being modest, to the best of your ability, because when we try to do this in this society, you're going to face a lot of pushback. A lot of pushback. So that's why I said this is work. This is not easy. Not easy at all. It's going to take a lot of patience. And, get into those scriptures. Read that Proverbs 31:10 through 31 over and over again. If she's really about it, she's really about trying to be a good woman to you, have her read it over and over and over again, And basically what we're doing is we're deprogramming ourselves from the wisdom of the world and programming ourselves with the wisdom of these scriptures. If the Lord brings a woman into our life, we got to do the same for her. We got to make sure she's deprogrammed of the wisdom of the world and reprogrammed with the way of the Lord. And this is probably, for a lot of us, if we are blessed with a woman, it's going to be a daily thing. every day, making sure, getting that programming out, making sure they're not consuming um, media, trying to get them off of social media as best as you can, get them away from the television, get them away from the radio, get them away from all that shit that's programming them with nonsense, and get them into the wisdom of the scripture. And this is really only for the righteous men. Only the righteous men of the Lord are going to be able to do this, because only the righteous men are blessed with enough patience to do this, enough wisdom to do this. And Lord willing, the righteous men are out there and receiving this. I pray you're receiving this. We got to be that unrelenting authority over the woman. Not violently, not abusively, just like you would your child. You kind of you gotta pull those reins in and make sure they're doing as we ask. This is not about equality. We're not equal to women. Men and women aren't equal. And we get that through our heads. We understand that women they're like our children, especially in this civilization, in this world. And this is the first steps we take towards actually loving them and ending this gender war. So I'm going to leave it at that. I pray this is edifying. I'll finish off by saying, give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rechakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutations to all the Yakim out there kicking this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.